Woo! Game wrapped up like 5 minutes ago. Huskies take it 10-3. Not the best game to watch as a football fan. And if you watch this game without a rooting interest, then you probably came away from it thinking that the Pac-12 is a pretty bad conference, which it is. So I guess that's fair, right? Yeah, 10-3. And I think we were the better team. I think we are better than the Utah Utes, but the game obviously turned on a very fluky pick six. So while I do think that this game showed that we are, better than Utah, it wasn't by much. And we're not so much better than them that, they weren't one play away from winning this game. I mean, if that fluky pick six doesn't happen, I honestly think we might drop this one. So not not the showing you want from your team in the biggest game of the season. And I know you can argue that the Auburn game was bigger, but I think that for what this team is, this is the biggest game of the year. So we're Pac-12 champs. We are 10-3 going into probably the Rose Bowl. In fact, I think it is definitely the Rose Bowl. But the team didn't do anything tonight to convince me that they're any more than what I thought they were after most of the games they played so far this year. So let's start with the defense because, my God, um, less than 200 yards of offense from Utah. Jason Shelley, he had one big play in this game, one 25-yard play to Dixon. Other than that, he was, we were getting pressure on the dude. He was making rookie mistakes because he's only a few starts into his career. They couldn't get much going on offense at all, so huge ups to the defense. Obviously, Byron Murphy has to be the player of the game. Jordan Miller had a pick as well. Um, Great showing by the defense. We stuffed the run. Utah averaged like 2 yards a carry on us. They they were trying a bunch of different stuff to get a run game going. Basically, they had one good run the whole game. One 16-yard run by Covey. Other than that, it was dead. Just all around excellence by this defense. Their one scoring drive came on a drive that ended in a 53-yard field goal, and most college kickers are going to make that, or excuse me, going to miss that kick, and we happen to run into one of the few kickers who can make it. So, just tip your cap, move on. But defense was great. They didn't let Utah move the ball for most of this game. The one or two times, excuse me, that Utah did move the ball, they made a play to keep them from actually doing damage. Three interceptions of Shelley. Obviously, the one pick six was kind of a fluke, but the other two, you got to give full credit to the defensive backs, Murphy and Miller, because in a game like this, it's delicate. One play makes a difference. If one of those two picks isn't made, changes everything. So that's the defense. There's nothing really bad I can say about this defense. We even got a pass rush tonight. So I'm excited about that. It's obviously a defense that you're proud to take home to mom. Defense we're going to be proud to showcase in this Rose Bowl coming up. It's okay. So we score 3 points on offense because of the pick six. We move the ball with some success, especially in the first half. We move the ball. We were breaking past the 50, the 40. We broke past the 30. More than once, I think we broke past the 25. And then shit just happens. We go for it on fourth down. We don't get it. That happened twice tonight. We missed a field goal at the end that would have sealed the victory, basically. So, that made things a lot harder for us. If he hits that field goal, at that point, I'm feeling like the game's over. Obviously, we have no faith in our kicker, so we keep going for it on fourth down in the red zone. And tonight it didn't work that great. Had some success, but we did trick off a couple of potential scoring drives because we just couldn't convert. And we moved the ball. I get that. This was not a game where the offense was dead in the water, but we had like 300 yards of offense, and these didn't result in but 3 points. So there's still something really wrong there. I don't want to heap any of the blame on any one person because, I mean, other than Baselia, who had a great game, maybe the best game of the year so far for Baselia, whatever, Andre Baselli. It was tough sledding. I don't have anything bad to say about Gaskin or Ahmed because I think those guys get every yard that there is to get. I think those guys play as hard as they can. I think those guys are doing all that they can for this offense. But tonight it was tough for them. I don't really put none of that on them though. That's just what happens in a game against a good defense that is keen on the run, and that's what we had tonight. We had a good Utah defense key on our run, but the offensive line, they played fine, but it's just, and maybe things will be different next year with a new quarterback, new receivers. Hopefully Hunter Bryant has a full season because that dude can play, but the passing attack, sometimes it's there, but a lot of the time it's just not. Other than Baselli, I mean, Fuller had a couple catches. He had one big play. Drew Sample, I like him, but he's not anything amazing, obviously. Like I said, Hunter Bryant, real good, but he got back from injury just a few weeks ago. He's obviously not going to be out there catching, 10 passes in a game right now. We got to give him some time for that. So it's just this passing game. And, I can go down the list and say, hey, our receivers, they're a little thin. I mean, Ty Jones, who I like, and I think Ty Jones might be the guy who becomes a big-time threat for this offense next year or the year after. But, no catches, and he has the opportunity to convert a fourth down with a very easy catch, and he spikes it up in the air for a pick instead. So that kind of summed it up for me, looking at this team. What is limiting us? What makes it so we can't even really look good in this Pac-12 title game? And Browning, I mean, you watch this game, you watch the other games he's played this year, and he's just okay. We have one game left in Jake Browning's college career, and we have that one season where he competed for the Heisman Trophy because he was throwing the ball to John Ross and Dante Pettis. You take away John Ross, he's still good. You take away Dante Pettis, and this is what you get. He's okay. He doesn't elevate the team around him. He just makes a few plays. He's good with his feet. He makes plays with his legs every now and then. He can hit some open receivers, but he also makes some very boneheaded plays. I mean, he threw a couple passes that should have been picked today that they weren't, thank God, because any one of those picks could have made all the difference in this game. But then you see some of the good plays he makes. Like I'll even include the pick in that. That's obviously absolutely not his fault, but every time I feel like this team is finding itself, I just remember, our quarterback just isn't all that we need him to be. He's an okay quarterback. He can be good sometimes, but on the whole, he just leaves you wanting. And if he's the reason why or why not your team is there, then you can't win at the highest level. And tonight, Browning had very little to do with the fact that we won this game. Like I said, we moved the ball. So I'm not going to act like we're out there picking up, 80 yards on the game or anything crazy like that. But can't finish drives, and that's on, Browning, that's on the receivers. And to me, those are the two things I'm really, really kind of just disappointed in this year. What I'm not disappointed in, though, is winning this conference, because whatever you can say about the state of the conference, and I'll agree with most of it, it feels good to win it. So Rose Bowl coming up. I'll make videos for that. Obviously, we'll see who we play. If we play like we played tonight, we're not going to have a great chance against anybody. We can consider ourselves lucky that Utah was starting a freshman quarterback who had only started a few games in his career. Let's be straight with that. All right. I'm going to watch the end of this Lakers game. Catch y'all later. Bow down to Washington. Pac-12 champs. Second time in 3 years. Let's go get this Rose Bowl.